What's good, fam? Had to give you that extra. I know I've been away for a few days, going through a really rough time, depression stuff, you know. Sometimes we go through that, but I am happy to be back. Thank you for everyone sending out your well wishes, finding out, what was going on. I really appreciate that, fam. So I'm coming back. I got to come back with an ERB, right? I can't come back and not do an ERB. So today we're doing Romeo and Juliet versus Bonnie and Clyde. This one is going out to my BFF, my brother from another mother, my life mate, Ken from the Discord. He's been asking for this one. I'm also going to be doing my first live reaction to an ERB, and as voted on by the Patreons and members, it's going to be Batman versus Sherlock Holmes. I'm going to do that sometime this week, maybe on Thursday or Friday, but of course I'll post notice. But without further ado, as always, history teacher ready. Going to be breaking it down line by line. We got two star-crossed lovers, Bonnie and Clyde and Romeo and Juliet. And I am a big fan of Bonnie and Clyde, as well as the movie. But then again, I love Shakespeare too. But Romeo and Juliet, not one of my favorite Shakespeare productions. A little too whiny for me, a little too emo. So in this one, I'm gonna have to pick Bonnie and Clyde, but let's see.
Drop bottles of her story. Romeo and Juliet. Forza. Bonnie and Clyde. Bring it.
I'll handle this, darling. I'm known to fire off some bars.
Oh man, I got some bootleg. Man, get those captions out. Gotta reset.
Bring it.
I'll handle this, darling. I'm known to fire off some bars. 'Cause if these lovers cross me, they're gonna end up seeing stars.
I mean, I'll let you go first, but damn sure I'm getting licked in. On this hissy fitting rich kid and this preview best in vixen, I'm still.
I love it. I love it. Coming out, bringing the heat. All right, so Clyde's like, yo, Bonnie, let me handle this one first, man. I'm known to fire off some bars. So of course, when you're rapping and spitting bars, you hitting them with that fire, son. You hitting them with that bars. But Clyde was also known to use a Browning automatic rifle, which is actually a popular tool because, again, during this time, Bonnie and Clyde, you have a lot of outlaws. This is, of course, during the Great Depression, in the 30s, especially in the South. You had the Dust Bowl also, which one of the greatest depictions of what life was like at the time. If you ever have a chance to read John Steinbeck's Grapes of Wrath, I don't know if they still make you read that in school, but also the movie with Henry Fonda, amazing movie, one of the best movies ever made. I definitely recommend checking out Grapes of Wrath if you've never seen it. But the combination of the Dust Bowl and the Great Depression, it turned a lot of people to lives of crime. So you had all types of, John Dillinger, Bonnie and Clyde, Pretty Boy Floyd. You had all these infamous, robbers who became actually kind of like folk heroes. Really, I mean, people were rooting for Bonnie and Clyde and Dillingers and, and the likes. And then you had Melvin Purvis, who was basically what most people think of Elliot Ness as this great, like, G-man. It was really Melvin Purvis, who is kind of lost to history as one of the greatest G-men of all time, who actually chased down, most of these, gangster barons, so to speak.
Off some bars. 'Cause if these lovers cross me, they're gonna end up seeing stars.
Because if these lovers cross me, they're going to end up seeing stars, right? So that's the double entendre, because Shakespeare describes Romeo and Juliet as star-crossed lovers, right? And the same can really be said for Bonnie and Clyde. Though Bonnie and Clyde's relationship is a little iffy because it's really unclear if it was a true relationship as, people would think of, like a boyfriend and a girlfriend. The sexual nature of it is something that's been questioned. But he's like, I'm gonna let you go first. If these star-crossed lovers, they're gonna end up seeing stars. So also, like, yo, I'm punching, like in the cartoons, man, you get punched in the face, you start seeing them stars going round and round. And Bonnie's like, I'm gonna let you go first. She's like Kanye. Yo, Taylor Swift, I'm gonna let you finish. But first.
I mean, I'll let you go first, but damn sure I'm getting licks in. On this hissy fitting rich kid and this prepubescent vixen.
Yeah, on this, how did she say it?
Go first, but damn sure I'm getting licks in. On this
Hissy fitting rich kid. So yeah, so Romeo comes from the house of Montague. And yes, they're a very, very well-off family. And like I said, Romeo and Juliet, not a big fan of. The only character I actually like in Romeo and Juliet is Mercutio, Romeo's best friend. And he has one of the best lines in all of Romeo and Juliet. When he gets when he ends up getting killed. Spoilers, I know, for those who haven't read Romeo and Juliet, Mercutio dies. And then he calls a plague the plague of both your houses. Like, he's like, man, I died for this nonsense, man. I'm putting a plague on both your houses, the Capulets and the Montague.
this hissy fitting rich kid and this
Prepubescent vixen. So in Romeo and Juliet, I forget how old she is, but she's pretty young. I want to say she was like 14, somewhere around there, 14, 15, something like that. I'm sure y'all correct me on that. But yeah, prepubescent vixen. Yeah, she was a little bit of a vixen, man. She was a bit of a tease. Like, she was stringing Romeo along, and Romeo was definitely a whiny little bitch. Like both of them. I couldn't stand both of them. I was so happy when they died at the end.
prepubescent vixen. I'm sick of them.
Let's beat him then, and we can rob him blind. I'll stick this punk up from the
I'll
front.
take this broad from behind and pop
Nice. Right, surround them. That's how you gotta do it. So she said, I'm gonna get some licks in. To get in licks means, like, if you scrapping, if you fighting, you're gonna get those licks in, man. You're gonna get them punches in. Like, you ain't going down without a fight.
sure I'm getting licks in. On this hissy fitting rich kid and this prepubescent vixen. I'm sick of them.
Let's beat him then, and we can rob him blind. I'll stick this punk up from the
I'll
front.
take this broad from behind.
I like that. I like that. That could also be a sexual innuendo too, man. I'm gonna take this broad from behind, because definitely Bonnie was the more aggressive of the two. Was definitely, she wore the pants, so to speak. Whereas Clyde was kind of like, Clyde was not the sharpest tool in the shed. He was not, you know, a lot of stuff that he did was pretty dumb, really. And he was easily swayed. Like, she held, you know, she was the one definitely in charge. But yeah, they're saying, you know, I'm gonna take him from the front, you take him from behind. And, you know, that's, you know, them being bank robbers. You know, that's generally what they would do. They would make sure everybody was surrounded, you know. So take them from the front, you take the back, and we hit them up together, and then we rob them blind, right? To rob somebody blind means to take everything, right?
And pop a cap in the ass for the last Capulet heiress. Give Miss Donuts in Paris a reason to cry to her parents.
Damn, Bonnie! Bonnie! Pop a cap in the ass. So obviously that's, you know, that's a term for shooting somebody, you know, when you're going to pop a cap in someone's ass or bust a cap in that ass or peel that wig back. You know what I'm saying? Last Capulet heiress. So Juliet is the only child of the Capulets. So, of course, she would be the last heiress to the Capulet family name if she was to die. So it's a play on, you know, Capulet.
Last Capulet heiress. Give Miss Donuts in Paris a reason to
Miss No Nights in Paris. All right, that's okay. That is so far line of the battle. No Nights in Paris. So originally, Juliet was she had an arranged marriage to Paris, not, you know, the city, to a person named Paris, and she was in love with Romeo, of course. So saying no nights in Paris is just a whole play on, you know, no nights in Paris, no nights with Paris, and of course the infamous sex tape One Night in Paris, which is in Paris Hilton, put out that sex tape and was called One Night in Paris, which was one of the worst celebrity sex tapes ever. Paris Hilton, like, seriously, just next time let the dude know you're still alive, because for like a few minutes there, I really thought it was like a necrophilia video. Like, say something, you know, just move around, and don't answer your cell phone during sex, man. That's disrespectful, man. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that.
Romeo, oh Romeo, wherefore you trying to flow, yo? Mofo, you soft as a fro, yo. Are those the drapes to your clothes, bro? There's gonna be a
Damn, Bonnie and Clyde are coming out hot. So they're doing the play on Romeo, oh Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo, right?
Give Miss Donuts in Paris a reason to cry to her parents.
oh Romeo,
Wherefore you trying to flow, yo. So a lot of, and you know, students when they ask wherefore is not a way of saying where. Because a lot of people are like, oh, where is Romeo? Wherefore is actually why, not where, it's why. So Clyde is saying here, like, why you trying to flow, yo? Like, you know, why you trying to flow with me, man? It ain't gonna work, right? Because the flow is, you know, to rap, you know, so they're having a rap battle. He's like, why you trying to flow with me? And he's like, Romeo, oh Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
you trying to flow, yo? Mofo,
Mofo, you soft as fro, yo. Oh my God, that is so good. Mofo. So mofo is obviously, a shortened way of saying motherfucker. And he's saying you soft, and you soft like that fro-yo, which is a frozen yogurt that's soft serve. So he's saying you soft, man. Like somebody says, man, you got Kool-Aid pumping in them veins, son. You sweet in the middle like Pop-Tart, man. You ain't hard, man.
you soft as a fro, yo. Are those the drapes to your clothes, bro? There's gonna be a tragedy.
Make you ache like your balls on the balcony.
Ooh, hoo, hoo. Whoa.
The fro, yo. Are those the drapes to your clothes?
Are those the drapes of your clothes, bruh? Yeah, them olden clothes, man, from those times. Yeah, that's true, man. They do look some drapes. But the next line from Bonnie,
Bro, there's gonna be a tragedy.
Make you ache like
is gonna be a tragedy. So of course, Shakespeare, a lot of his like Hamlet and Othello and Romeo and Juliet, they're known as Shakespearean tragedies because they always end in tragedy. Everybody dead at the end of those plays, right? But she's saying make you ache like your balls on the balcony. So this refers to the balcony scene in Romeo and Juliet, where Juliet is up in the balcony and Romeo's down there professing his love. And it's almost like Romeo's like, yo, let me get some. Like, seriously, man, I've been chasing you around everywhere. Like, let me up in that balcony, man. Let me up so I can get up inside that balcony. Right? And she's like, no, you have to go. And he's just got them blue balls, man. Them blue balls. Sorry, Romeo.
Pharaoh gang put their money where their mouth is.
sick like a plague on both your houses.
Damn, that is one of the best intro verses I've heard so far. I think I've done about 28 ERB'S. Wow. I was not expecting it to be this good.
Make you ache like your balls on the balcony.
Barrow gang put their money where their mouth is. So the Barrow gang is Bonnie and Clyde's gang, because Clyde's last name was Barrow, so it was the Barrow gang. Much like, the James brothers had the James gang, Jesse James. So yeah, the Barrow gang put their money
where their mouth is.
Spit sick. So they're saying their flows are sick, right? Spitting sick flows here, like a plague of both your houses.
Plague on both your
Like a plague on both your houses. That's Mercutio's line when he gets, I forgot the name of the dude who stabbed him. But he gets stabbed, and as he's dying, he says a plague of both your houses, both on the Montague and the Capulets.
My love, your face is beauty to behold. I will protect thine honor from these dust bowl dildos.
A moment's
I'm not feeling it already from really? Man, this is a battle. You're gonna start simping over this girl over there? Like, seriously? Like, for real, man? Your face is a beauty to behold.
Your face is beauty to behold. I will protect thine.
I will protect thine honor. So thine meaning your. I will protect your honor.
Honor
from these Dust Bowl dildos. I mean, okay, that's okay. I'll give you that was good. So we already discussed the Dust Bowl. The Dust Bowl was something that, again, in conjunction with the Great Depression. So people are already suffering due to the Great Depression, and there were a series of Dust Bowls in the South, and a lot of farmers and the like really suffered it because of it. A lot of people lost their land, their homes, everything. And like I said, the Grapes of Wrath is the perfect depiction of that era. And I was calling them dildo. Dust Bowl dildos.
Dust Bowl dildos.
A moment's break from your gaze is an eternity past.
Really?
In honor for these Dust Bowl dildos.
A moment's break from your gaze is an eternity.
Oh my God, this makes me want to vomit. A moment, like she's like, man, I can't be away from you for 2 seconds, man. There's a fight going down and your man's trying to protect your honor and you're like, no, don't go. I can't be without you for 2 seconds. Yo, that's some crazy woman talk right there, man. Yo, Juliet, man, you need to back up on off, man. That's why I always say, people, you never date crazy, you never marry crazy. You booty call crazy, but you don't marry crazy and you don't date it, you don't bring it home.
Past. So together we shall both put these bitches on blast.
Really? Really? I ain't feeling it. They're gonna put two of the so she's like, I can't be away from you, so we're gonna hit them both at the same time. We're gonna put them on blast, meaning put your business out there. On guard.
On guard, thou artless, beetle-headed flatterer. The only
I do love the fact they are using Shakespearean insults here. So okay, you know what? I extra credit
These
for that.
bitches on blast.
on guard,
Thou artless, beetle-headed flax wench. So beetle-headed means that basically you're dumb, right? And a flax wench is basically calling someone like a prostitute or a slut in Shakespearean works. So he's calling them both. He's calling Clyde out for being an idiot, and she's calling out. She's calling Bonnie and Clyde. Clyde's the idiot, and Bonnie's the whore, basically.
artless, beetle-headed flatterer. The only insult you have thrust upon me is thine state. Why don't you twist upon these nuts? I hear you're good with a rag that shit will stay.
Ooh, that's a deep cut. That is a deep cut, ladies and gentlemen. I was wondering if they bring that up. So he's saying, like, the only thing that's insulting to me so far is thine stench, right? Because, you know, he's upper class, rich and everything, and he's like, you guys stink, right? Get out of here, peasants with thine stink. Smell like dildos, son. Smell like used dildos, actually.
Upon me is thine state. Why don't you twist upon...
Why don't you twist upon these nuts? So, Clyde was a very good mechanic. And, of course, obviously, to make getaways and everything else, they have to have a really good car. And he preferred a Ford V8. And he always kept that Ford in tip-top Magoo shape. So he's good with a wrench, and you use a wrench to twist nuts. And so he's saying, why don't you twist up on these nuts, because I heard you're good with a wrench.
These nuts, I hear you're good with a rag. The dismal state of your raps should be a federal offense.
I knew that.
Yes, and the dismal state of your raps should be a federal offense. So he's saying your bars are so weak, they need to send your ass back to jail, man, for them bars. I'm not sure if there's another meaning to there that I might have missed, but of course you all pick up the slack.
Wench with the neck of a chicken, you get an ass ripping worse than your boyfriend's in prison.
Okay. Yes. They hit it with him. She hit it with him. All right.
Wench with the neck of...
With the neck of a chicken? So basically she's still calling her out for being a slut. Because a chicken, you know, the neck of a chicken is, of course, you know, when somebody makes movements like a neck of a chicken, but somebody with chicken neck or chicken head, that refers to somebody who likes to perform a lot of fellatio. Because you look at you doing this, you got that chicken head movement. Yeah. So, okay. But the next line, ooh.
Of a chicken, you get an ass ripping worse than your boyfriend's in prison.
You get an ass ripping worse than your boyfriend's in prison. So Clyde was in prison for like 15 years or so. And he was raped in jail. So this is not just a joke like, oh man, be careful, man, you go to prison, don't drop the soap. No. Yeah, Clyde was sexually assaulted by a fellow inmate while in prison. And this goes back to the wrench thing. I didn't want to bring it up because once they mentioned wrench, I was pretty sure they were going to mention this. Clyde did get revenge on the dude Eventually, he got him and he beat him to death with a wrench for that, for the assault that he suffered, at his hands. So Clyde got his revenge, but he did get them cheeks. He got them cheeks clapped in jail.
You're not a true romance. You're just a conjugal visit. Oh, but that's not even your real husband now, is it?
All right, Juliet is actually bringing the heat, much more than Romeo here. So she references two things here. You're not a true romance. So number one, she's saying, their romance is fugazi, right? It ain't really real. But it's also referencing the 1993 movie True Romance, one of the best movies ever. Actually written by Quentin Tarantino. He wrote it right before Pulp Fiction came out. Pulp Fiction came out in 94. True Romance comes out in 93. And he wrote both movies, but the studio only said he could direct one of them. So he chose Pulp Fiction, which he definitely chose wisely on that one. But he did write True Romance. And in the movie, it is kind of a Bonnie and Clyde type story. So they're saying you're not a true romance, and they do refer to themselves as Bonnie and Clyde.
Romance. You're just a
conjugal visit. So all you are is, you're just a booty call, basically. You only get to see a man up in jail, right? And even then, it's questionable if they actually did have sex.
conjugal visit. Oh, but that's not even your real husband.
And that's not even your real husband now, is it? So that is true. Bonnie was married to another man while she was with Clyde, but her husband was actually also incarcerated. So she never really spent much time with him because he was always in jail, right? So yeah, it's true. Yeah, that wasn't her. They couldn't get, well, I guess they could have got married, but that would have been against the law. The marriage wouldn't have been legal anyway.
Now, is it?
Hey, partner, you best put a muzzle on your missus before I teach her how we handle disrespect down in Texas.
Yeah. He's like, man, don't mess with Texas. He's like, you better put a muzzle on that woman, because I'm about to draw on you, son. We're gonna square up. Yeah, so to put a muzzle on someone is, just like you put a muzzle on an animal to cover up their mouth. He's saying, put a muzzle on her, like, you better shut her up. She's talking about me getting, cornholed in jail. You calling out my woman here for being a loose woman. I don't like all this. And you know how we settle business in Texas, son. We settle it with pistols. Pistols at dawn.
You call, sir? Oh, shall I draw my long sword? Or will you duck your chicken shit ass back into your fall?
Okay, Romeo. Okay. Do you quarrel, sir? Meaning, do you have a quarrel? Like, yo, you got some beef, man? You got a problem with me?
Oh, shall I
draw my long sword? So that is a reference to Shakespeare as well. That's also a reference to draw your long sword. That's also in Hamlet as well. But again, man, you bringing a sword to a gunfight, that's not gonna end well for you. That's what I'm saying, man. You too emo for me, man. Take your ass to Hot Topic, man.
Draw my long sword, or will you duck your chicken shit ass back?
Will you duck your chicken shit ass back into your Ford? So again, Clyde preferred the Ford V8 for all their jobs that they would pull, and to make quick getaways. But he's calling them a chicken shit. He's gonna run in his car because obviously after a robbery they got to make a quick getaway.
Into your fall.
How could you beat my man into mano y mano? You can't protect your best friend from some John Leguizamo.
Oh shit! Oh god, I forgot about the movie. Oh, that movie was not great, but it had its moments. Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. I forget who the female lead was. I think it was Claire Danes, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. But I do remember John Leguizamo was in that movie, and John Leguizamo plays the character who does kill Mercutio. So he's saying you couldn't protect your best friend Mercutio from some John Leguizamo, because Leguizamo played the character that kills Mercutio. Wow, referencing that
My man, into mano y mano. You can't protect your best friend from some John like Mazzano. No, my Romeo will beat your bow in contest blow for blow. He will do upon thine dick what you have done upon your show.
Oh, it took me a second. It took me like it hit, but then I had to put it together. I was like, oh damn. I forgot about the toes, man. So of course the Bonnie's saying, man to man, mano a mano, fist to fist. Your man can't handle my man, and she's saying my bow. My man will beat your beau, which is a beau is is like girlfriend, boyfriend. I'm sorry.
We'll beat your bow in contest blow for blow.
In contest blow for blow. So they're gonna go blow for blow, toe to toe. Because those usually go together. Like somebody said, we're gonna go blow for blow, toe to toe, and then she hits him with the toes.
He will do upon thine dick what you have done upon your.
He will do upon your dick what you hath done upon your toe. So this is one of the most like tragic and ironic instances. So as I mentioned before, so Clyde's in jail, and it was really bad. And obviously, after being assaulted, he wanted out. So he cuts off his own toe. He cuts off his big toe and the toe next to it in hopes of getting early release on disability. But guess what happens a couple of days later? He gets paroled. So he cut them toes off for no reason whatsoever. If he just waited a couple of more days, he would have gotten parole. So she's saying that Romeo is going to do to Clyde's dick what he did to his own toes. So basically saying he's going to castrate him.
Your toe! Oh, I'm killed! What irony is this? The lead role shot down by a failed actress.
Then I shall.
Ooh.
What irony is this? The lead role shot down by a failed actress.
The lead role shot down by a failed actress. So there's a few points here. So number one, Bonnie did originally want to be an actress before she became a bank robber. That was her big goal, her big dream. She wanted to be a movie star. So she was a failed actress. Juliet is also saying that in this scenario that she's the actual lead role, right? She's the lead role. Nobody's coming here to see Bonnie. Everybody wants to see Juliet. And the third, of course, is referencing, at the end of Romeo and Juliet, Juliet fakes her death.
Then I shall kill myself. On my stomach I shall lie. So you love can lick my ass. Thus with a diss I die.
And after Romeo walks in and sees Juliet's dead body, he does drink poison, and he does say the line,
So on my stomach I shall lie. So you love can lick my ass.
so you louts can lick my ass.
Thus
With a diss I die. So he gives him one more diss by saying, y'all can lick my ass, I'm out of here. And in the book, before he drinks the poison, he says, thus with a kiss I die. So it's a play on that, thus with a diss I die.
with a diss
I die! Oh, never mind. My flesh was merely grazed. Where's Romeo? Oh, Romeo! There's poison on your face! Oh, happy dagger, kiss me true, swing my breath.
Yeah, this is exactly what happens in Romeo and Juliet. Eventually, then Juliet wakes up and sees Romeo's he killed himself, and she's like, oh my God, and then she kills herself.
Where's Romeo? Oh, Romeo! There's poison
I do like, oh no, Mio. That was funny. There's poison on your face.
on your face! Oh, happy dagger, kiss me true, swing my...
Pierce me true. So meaning dagger, don't fail me. Pierce me true, meaning, actually kill me. Persuade my breath to stop.
breath to stop. Sheathe yourself inside.
Sheathe yourself inside my heart. So to sheathe your weapon is to put your weapon back in, but she's using it to sheathe herself with the knife.
My heart, I like the beat I drop.
Ooh, and like the beat I drop. There you go.
Well, that was tragic.
That did not go as expected.
Would have done that boy some good. Just wait a couple seconds.
That's what I always thought whenever I read Romeo and Juliet. I'm like, son, man, you couldn't have waited just a little bit. Kind of like Clyde should have waited a couple of days, man, to get that parole before cutting them toes off. And of course, well, that was tragic and again, Shakespearean. tragedies reference again.
It's kind of sad though, really. So young to have just died.
Well, at least we got each other.
Just Bonnie.
And
Okay. Yeah, so that's a reference. Yeah, so Bonnie and Clyde do end up being shot down rather violently. I mean, they wasted a shit ton of bullets on them, but also a reference to the Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway movie from 1967, Bonnie and Clyde, which is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, please see it. It's also got Gene Hackman in it. Amazing cast. But that when they shoot him down at the end, they did go over the top with that scene for sure. But yeah, unfortunately, Bonnie and Clyde do meet a tragic end, much like Romeo and Juliet, very young.
Who's next?
Who won? Who's next?
Buck.
I think I gotta go with Bonnie and Clyde, man. I do have to go with Bonnie and Clyde on this one. I know usually I'm the loser when I choose, but I loved Bonnie and Clyde's flow, their disses, and plus again Romeo and Juliet. You know, they were kind of weak. I mean, if anything, Juliet was carrying the load in that whole battle, right? So I'm gonna have to go with Bonnie and Clyde on this one. As always, though, let me know down in the comments what you think. And again, sorry for the absence this week, but like I said, I was going through a really rough patch there mentally. But I'm back, and I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. As always, going to shout out the Patreons if you want to support the show. A lot of people still be asking me, yo, where's your merch store, man? Where's the Patreon? Where's the Discord? Watch the video. Ways to support Teacher Ready. Under each video, join button, YouTube membership, click, select level. In the description, Discord, join, have fun. In the description also, Patreon, click, select level. In the description, donate, PayPal. Merch store, t-shirts. Email addresses in the description, and yes, I know I look like Bert Kreischer. And as always, shouting out the Patreons who support the show and keep things running here so I can keep the show running. Starting with the Chancellors, Wouter, Chris H., Blue Tech, Phoenix, Laughin' Jackal, Electra James, Elena G, Douglas, and Need You, the Principal Tier, James R, Spacey Doodle, Ulrike, Mick, Quiet J, Clement, Vijandra, Murika Kaidi, Alan P, Chad A, Alex S, Lauren N, Aaron Shepard, Chris L, Lord Gandalf, Freeman, Nathan, Rasmus, Tommy, Harry, Big Ol, Sophia G, and Robin B. I've been Teacher Ready, and I'll see you next time, fam.